What is up, guys? DB's in here with another AFK Journey video. Today we're going to discuss if Dunlinger is trash, as they say in AFK pushing. I'm going to have a hot take here. In my opinion, he is not actually trash. He's actually pretty good. So let's take a look here. So I am currently at stage 456. I believe there's only one person ahead of me in the entire district, or not district, in server, as you can see here. So we're doing pretty good. I know Ziggy, who is the guy at 470, is using, the most broken team with the tree, etc. We have Alice back here. But anyways, I've been pushing this with Dunlinger, and I'm going to explain the reason why and what team I'm using. So, yeah, let's get started. So first, let's do the team comp here. We're going to run, obviously, Dunlinger, Taylene, Scarlita, and it depends on if you're using the cancel ult or cancel heal. Ult for Dunlinger, but for the last two spots, you can do Damien, who's going to provide haste and a little bit of heal. And for the last spot, you can probably run a tank. I prefer using Thorin to protect the Taylene. And this is normally what I run with anti-ult, or you can use obviously the classic Brutus just to tank. He has the vulnerability ability. And I also sometimes add Nara, I don't know how to say her name, just to pull specific units over to my side. I believe she's a little bit easier to use than Rainier, just because she doesn't require positioning. She doesn't affect the positioning, so it's easier to play around with her. But you could also use Rainier as well. So that's gonna be the main team. The core is obviously the 3 Celestial. And then for the cure log, you're just going to add Ewan. She's going to be the healer. You put her all the way in the back and Taylene in front. So she's able to ult during Dunlinger's cure log ult. And yeah, she provides the sustain and heals you need, along with Damien, who also gives haste. So that'll be the 2 team compositions that I use, depending on if I'm using cure lock or spellbind with Dunlinger. And yeah, that's all you pretty much need to push AFK stages. Some of you might be wondering why we don't use Aaron, since he pairs up so well with Taylene, and they're like a perfect combo. But this is the reason why. When you go here and look at the talents, once you scroll down the talent, this is what actually makes Dunlinger and the Celestials in general be able to push. Taylene gets a massive true damage buff. As you see here, they recover some energy, but the big one here is the extra talent buff tile. So the hero standing in this tile will gain the following ability. When the battle starts, the hero creates a black hole that lasts for 3 seconds. They cast it to the area with the most enemies. It will deal like 30% magic damage, but the main reason why this will be broken is because it pulls the enemies within one tile towards the center. So it is essentially like a mini Aaron ult. They would actually work together, I think, since Aaron goes off as soon as the match starts and provides magic defense reduction. And then in theory, the black hole will pop off right after. By Aaron pulling them all together, it would allow the black hole to pull all the units in again. This is just an idea that has very good potential in my opinion, but we will test it out once I'm able to unlock this ability in a couple of weeks. The right side of the talent tree is for defense, which will allow Dunlinger to tank fairly well. Once you see the clips at the end, you see that he doesn't die much, and he's a lot less squishy than you think, and like I said, mainly because these talent perks help him out. So before we look at gameplay and positioning, I also want to cover charms. Charms this season are very good, especially for Taylene. If you get the elite charms to start out with, she's going to gain 30% attack damage for 60 seconds, then it'll go up to 40%, and then once you get to legendary and mythic, she's also going to get crit, 25 for legendary and 35 for mythic. So just make sure you guys are farming for this. Taylene is extremely good this season, and I have a video coming up about her. For Dunlinger, his charms are also very good. Once you get the elite charm, his magical and physical defense is going to go up by 18%, and then for epic, 24%. Legendary and mythic, he gets 25 and 35 vitality, which is pretty good. Now let's take a look at Scarlita. So once you get elite charms for her, she's going to gain attack and physical and magic defense the longer she's in battle. And just like the previous charms, the better the charms that you have equipped, the better the effects are going to be. So that'll be it for charms, and now that we've covered them, let's move on to actual gameplay and see some AFK stages being pushed. So the first thing we're going to look at are the talent stages. We're on stage 231 here. As you see, our power is 27k and the enemy is at 58k, so well over double. So for a stage like this with Hewin, I would go Cure Lock on Dunlinger. I will remove the Thorin here and add Hewin and move the Taylene up and the Hewin in the back so she's able to ult. So that's how we would take care of a stage similar to this. We would also keep the Damien here and add Verdant Spell, which is probably the best spell right now. As for regular stages, you'll be able to see in the top left and right that we aren't able to deficit push as much. Obviously, we don't have the talent buff for Celestials active, but that doesn't mean we can't be successful and push AFK stages that are still quite a bit more powerful than us. What is this, about 13k more power? But yeah, for a stage like this, I would use Spellbind and put the Thorn in front of Taylene to protect her. Now let's take a look at some actual gameplay here. You're going to see right here I'm using Cure Lock. You're going to see the Scarlita drop, knock them out of the stage while Hewin and Damien are healing, and then Taylene's just going to use her fire. So yeah guys, that's how the team's going to play out when you're using Cure Lock for Spellbind. It's going to be very similar. The Taylene's just going to be protected by the Thorin, and the enemy team won't be able to ult. So while the next battle plays out in the background, I want to give you guys my final thoughts. I believe Dunlinger is good in AFK stages. I believe a lot of content creators and websites have him ranked too low. We'll take a look at Pridwin right after this battle so you can see. But yeah, in my opinion, he's great. He's not squishy at all. He can tank. And to be honest, without him, you can't run the Celestial talent. So he's a must-have. And as you can see, Scarlita and Taylene are both S+ in my opinion, AFK pushers. On Pridwin here, they have Taylene at an S and Scarlita at an S+. I believe Taylene is an S+ easy and probably the best S+. And then they have Dunlinger, I believe, at a B. Dunlinger should be at an A in my opinion, at least for the season. He might drop back down to the B after the season ends, but with this insane Celestial talent buff, he's a must-have on the core team to get the talent buff, so he should be moved up to an A. So yeah guys, Dunlinger isn't just a PvP god. He could actually be used for something else. Don't go and invest in him just because of this, because it can change next season. But yeah, that'll wrap up the video guys. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.